Welcome to Conversations with Kay and Twitter Tea. Here we go. This is a long one, let me tell you, because she just won't stop going after Gabby Hannah. She just will not stop tweeting her over and over. Because apparently KJ is the authority on ADD and ADHD. I don't know. Where'd she get her license? Cracker Jack box? I don't know. Oh, I don't think it's right for anybody to speak on somebody else's mental health. We all know that anybody knows that ADD and ADHD affect different people differently. And this is why I don't usually speak on things like this, but since it's the whole conversation with Gabby Hannah and Katie, this has been going on for a couple days now, and she is not going to stop, let me tell you. She's just going to keep on trying to put herself up as an expert when we all know that's not true. I've just never seen such. She's like a dog with a bone. She will not let it go. So I'm thinking to myself, is she using this to try to get more people to follow her, to try to get her name out there more, because she keeps posting on Deaf Noodles, Gabby Hannah. One minute she's all for her, the next minute she's making derogatory posts about her. Oh, it just, the hypocrisy is real. It's always here when we talk about KJ. I don't know. Why? She does this all the time to people where she'll make a nice post about him and then a horrible post about him. And then when people call her out on it, she doesn't understand what the big deal is. And then she's talking about Trisha Paytas, which is another one. She hates her one day, loves her the next day, always posting on her Twitter. I just think, and the irony in this, and you'll see in a minute, is she accuses Gabby Hannah of using drama to increase her views for her content. Who does that sound like? But it's just horrible the way she's trying to tell Gabby Hannah how she should manage her ADD or her ADHD. That's not how it works, Katie. Just stop. Let her do what she's going to do, and you can do what you're going to do. This one talks about how she loses her impulse control after her meds wear off, etc., etc. I have always been open about that I have ADD. I do not medicate for it. I work with it. I feel like it's what makes me creative. I think it's what's helped me be an artist all these years. So it's not something I want to lose. So I've learned that if I get up first thing in the morning and do my most important work from 7 to 11, I'm good. After 12 o'clock, my attention starts to waver. And I know this. So I have always done my biggest, most important work in the morning. So my point is, there's lots of ways to handle your ADD or ADHD, and no one way is right. It's just whatever works for you. And if Gabby's found what works for her, then that's good for her. And if you found what works for you, that's good for you. But don't go telling her that she's wrong and she can't have this and that's not how it works, because you're not an authority. You're not a doctor. Oh, I just can't even with this woman. And then, of course, she's got to get some clout in with Deaf Noodles, talking to James Charles' mom. Now, if that's not a clout post, I don't know what is. We all know that was a clout post. There was no reason to say that other than try to make people think that her and James Charles' mom are close. Now, this is the recent tweets from tonight. These were happening as I was making this video. So she calls out Katie Joy, because I think she was so sick of KJ posting on her posts. So it shows an old private message that Katie had sent her. Now, who does this remind us of? Who could it be? And then Katie takes issue with her showing her private message that she sent her. Oh my gosh. Come on, KJ. How many people have you done this to? How many people have you outed the private messages that they sent you? Oh my gosh, it's too many to count at this point. So I don't know how she gets off acting like it's this horrible thing that Gabby Hannah did it to her. You know, it's karma. What goes around comes around. It always does. Gabby Hannah's response is to share private messages I sent to her, empathizing with her about the hate she received and a means to humiliate me. I stand by my messages. I messages to her and have defended her publicly, but don't always agree with her. Oh, God. No, KJ, that's not how it works. Nope. And then she goes on to say how she's weaponizing her messages. Katie, you do the same thing. That's what's so ironic with all of these things that she's calling Gabby Hannah out for are all the same things she does. And that's, if you look at the comments, people keep saying, oh, the irony. How does she not get that this is the same thing she does day in and day out? It's just crazy to me. Crazy. Next, we have the picture of her jeans that she took while she's waiting in the hospital. The funny thing about this, though, is that when she posted it on Instagram, she put something about, even though I've gained COVID weight, my jeans still fit. But on Twitter, she put waiting, where you can obviously see she's in a hospital room. So odd. So I guess, on Twitter, she's sad fishing, and on Instagram, she's showing off her jeans. I don't know. Like I said, it never makes sense. Then she goes, after a post of Gabby Hannah's with Deaf Noodles. See, here's the thing with Deaf Noodles. Katie, she wants his attention so bad, and he won't normally give it to her. So she's got several tweets where she goes after Deaf Noodles. There's another one here where she goes after him because one of the stories he had was on a paywall. But look, Katie, now you've got Deaf Noodles' attention now. Woohoo, Katie Joy made it to the Deaf Noodles Twitter page. I wonder what she thought of it. I think she probably secretly was really happy about it. And I don't like to talk about kids on here, but that's all she's talked about lately. So, I don't know. The first thing from my mind would be taking a picture of my jeans and posting it on not just one social media, but two, while I'm waiting for a family member to get diagnosed at the hospital. That just will never make sense to me, ever. I don't get it. But I like the reply on this post. How's it any different than what you did posting a book that wasn't in the public domain? So she's always calling people out for the exact same things that she does. Then she tries to act like she's having empathy for Gabby Hannah when she's not. I don't think she's capable of empathy or sympathy. I don't know. Somebody make it make sense, because if you're in the hospital tweeting your jeans, how empathetic can you be? That will just never add up to me. I would never be posting on social media. I get being, a lot of downtime while you're in the hospital waiting, but her husband was with her. I don't know. That's just too weird for me. So then she goes on, still accusing Gabby Hannah of being a narcissist, telling her that she doesn't know what ADD or ADHD is. I love the comments, though, that people leave. So funny. They're just not having it. They keep telling her, basically, you do the same thing that you're calling out Gabby Hannah for. And we all know that that's the real truth at the end of the day. Oh, and here we go. More ADD. She just won't let it go. All day this went on. Tweet after tweet after tweet. Somebody posted her screen time on Twitter was 16 hours a day. That only leaves, the 8 hours to sleep? And she says she's not online that much? 16 hours. I can't even imagine. I run 2 online businesses, So I have to be online more than I want to, but I still don't hit any 16 hours, I can tell you that. But here we go again with the ADHD. Katie's saying mood swings are not a common diagnostic. I'm pretty sure, because it's not a mood disorder. I want to see her degree. That's what I want to see. Katie, put up your medical degree so we can all see it. Oh my gosh. But here's where she gets called out for deleting a tweet about Gabby Hannah, where she again refers to her as a narcissist and tells her she's not that important. But then she goes back and deletes it. So this one says, but you deleted what you said about her to make her post your DMs. Now that's some manipulative crap. And then somebody else calls her out for deleting the tweet. So then, since everybody's calling her out for a dirty delete, as they call it on Twitter, she starts making excuses that she doesn't want all of Gabby Hannah's fans coming after her. She can unleash those fans on me. I don't want that chaos, but I stand by this statement. I still think she's acting narcissistic. Well, then why not just leave your tweet up? So then we're back to her being in the hospital waiting on her son. Got to do a little more sad fishing to take the heat off. I do think originally this tweet was worded differently, allegedly, but I couldn't find the original, so I'm not going to push it. And then Zach gives her the best advice at all, which was rest for a couple days and we'll still be here when you get back. But y'all know that's not going to work. She's not going to take that advice, because she was right back at it today. Tweet after tweet, you know, a lot of them on her videos. Then she talks about them coming to cancel, Gabby Hannah's fans coming to cancel her. I haven't seen any of them going after her on Twitter. Maybe they went to her YouTube page, but I don't go there, so I don't know. But so she says she only talks about reality TV, not other YouTubers. Well, now that Josh Duggar has been arrested, which I kind of feel like this is why Counting On hasn't renewed. They're probably just going to end all this Duggar stuff. But that's bad news for Katie, right? Because what's she going to talk about if she can't talk about Duggars? This is a bad day for Katie. Not good at all. She's going to have to find something else to talk about now. It's probably going to be other YouTubers. Oh, the irony. Yeah, she was late to get this posted today, too. It took her a little bit longer than all the other ones. So I was wondering, where was her inside source? That source must not be keeping up, Katie. You need a better one. But yeah, this could hurt her YouTube money big time if she doesn't have a lot of Duggar stuff to post. We'll see how that turns out. I don't know. Her Teen Mom stuff doesn't go over that well, because I think, in my opinion, she wasn't even watching the show, but then made a couple videos without watching it. And, you know, subs are smart. They know when you're doing that. They don't like that at all. If you try to pretend watch a show and then make a video on it, no, that doesn't fly. But anyway, this is all I have for today. This was kind of a long one, so if you need to read a tweet, just pause the video. There was just so many. I meant to finish this last night, and then she kept tweeting, and then I fell asleep. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you had a wonderful day. Hold your family close.